I know we all have heard of this thing called ransomware, and how it's actually encrypting or crippling some school districts. So it always make me think about our disaster recovery solution as well as our business continuity plan. Are we thinking about this? And then if so, what are you doing for instant response? Are you looking at from a NIST framework perspective, or are you just doing it from a, how are we actually responding? The truth of the matter is, I've actually looked at a lot of school districts, and I'm not really sure. I thought this would be the greatest part of that conversation, given we're all from different parts of the globe and we all have the one thing in passion, which is kids. So I'm not going to talk too much about on what I'm doing because I do a whole bunch of weird stuff. But disaster recovery and business continuity is really important. I do it multifaceted of ways. I make sure I have a device on-prem as well as going to the cloud. I make sure I do a DRP testing to make sure that data is checked and I can actually stand it up within a minute or seconds. And that's the way I'm able to minimize my risk because I'm not paying a ransom, right? I don't know if you know, but where I'm from, if you pay a ransom, they coming back. Okay, because it's that easy. And I was a hacker for a long time, but I was an ethical hacker. And when you think about some of the things, there are a lot of people that's doing it, they're not just ethical. So how do you actually counteract someone with my skill set that doesn't have good mind? So I want to know where are you guys at when you think about disaster recovery and business continuity?
So we've changed some of the ways we've been doing things. We moved some things to the cloud. We have redundant backup on all of our important, definitely on all of our important applications, including our student management system, our financial system. As I was saying before, we want to make sure everybody's going to be paid. So we have even tested printing checks off campus and things like that. And we are looking at the NIST. We actually, that was like a major project even before COVID. That was a major project that had started. So we're in the process of making sure that we have everything, software, everything accounted for, and making sure that we're following those methods. We're not paying either. So we got to make sure that we're prepared not to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
what about
an expansion, again, we've had what I feel is a good plan in place for a while here, but again, it's how we address local data. And as we've made that push into the cloud, how we extend that tool set to cloud-based data. So that was a focus that we kind of hit on a little bit this summer here, as we were looking at the increasing amount of data into the cloud and being able to go back and do version restores and stuff like that. So bringing in additional tools, it's like, it's tools. But again, as the playground has gotten bigger, right, and more expansive, having tools to be able to manage that playground. So not so much a change, but just an expansion, of our existing plans.
Okay. I like that. Okay. So do you guys all have business continuity plans in place when you think about from a restorative perspective?
We do.
Yep, we do. And it's been interesting as Chris talks about, as we bring, typically in the past, school districts have been very soft targets for a lot of things, right? And we've changed a lot. All of us have, as a collective, a lot. But as Chris mentioned, one of the things that as we bring more and more things into the cloud-based solutions, whether it's taking this particular application into the cloud and so forth as well, you need to constantly monitor what does your plan say about that, so you still have that built into your program. Because that's one of the things that you can easily forget as you make a change if you're not constantly monitoring what does my plan look like. You need to keep that updated to keep that effect in place. So it's not just put in place and forget. I mean, it's constantly monitoring, adjusting, and managing it as you go. And then doing the testing and so forth as well to make sure it's going to work, not just have something that you're written out to make somebody happy that I've got a plan. That's the other part of making that really work. So, yeah.
So being IT leaders, what has been the hardest part, being able to kind of remember and put that at the forefront when a lot of us have not really kind of indulged in it? A lot of us may do it just to be able to satisfy the board to stop asking us questions, and then we never go back to it. And now it's a year later, so we don't have a plan in place because there has been so many things that have And then when you're doing your communication plan, do you do the communication based on the title and not the person? Because people change, the position doesn't, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, your response plan, the whole thing, you got to constantly keep moving it around and making sure you got it in place. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have it on, you know, you have to figure out a way to make it on top, and like I have an actual on my calendar reminding me, you know, whether it's to look or whether it's to set up a test or to talk to the tech or talk to the technicians about where we're at, because like you said, things will happen and you'll just get caught up and then be, oh, we didn't even think about that, we didn't look at that, so you know.